Hey, how's it going everybody? It's me, Scott from One Last Hand, and we're back at the Briny Deep and we are playing some more Deep Regrets. This time we are playing with the Lamentable Tentacles mini expansion. This includes a collection of cards, some new, slightly different rules, not many, but obviously it's a mini expansion, so we'll talk through that. The first thing the game comes with is new cards, so we have a handful of cards at each depth that you can see here. Now what we need to do is remove 6 from each depth to put these in. So we're going to take out 6 cards from each of these, we'll shuffle these all back up, and then we'll add these cards to it. So hopefully we'll get to see some of the new cards as we play. We also get these cards, which are biggest regrets, and we're going to shuffle these up. And we're going to take one. We're going to be playing a 2-player game today. I'll be in charge of both of these. We're going to be Frod over here, and Balb, will be our opponent. We're using the alternative art today, and we're going to pick 2 of these cards. So the first one we've got is Curmudgeonly. Once per day on your turn, you may use the topmost value. So the way this is going to work is we're going to tuck this card underneath our player board with the value showing, and as we get various amounts of regrets, we're going to slide this down a little bit and we're going to be able to use the top one. So for this one, it is if we take the second one here, if you are alone at your location / depth, you can increase the dice, free dice, by 1. So we're going to slide that underneath here, so the 0 is showing. And then that changes obviously depending on how many regrets we've got, and we need one for Balb. So let's come and pick one here. We'll take this one, and this one is Lonely. If you are not alone at all your location or depth, all players with you get 2 extra dice. So Bulb is going to be happy having some company. So we'll get to those as and when they come up, but it's just going to add a little bit of variety. Just a couple of housekeeping notes. If you haven't seen it already, I'd recommend going and watching the first video on our channel of a playthrough. It's me playing just the base game, and it just explains the rules. I will go through it again, but probably not to the degree I do in that video. If you want to see a how-to video, let me know and I'll make one. But a couple of other things we've got set up here. We have obviously our shop over here with our various items in. We'll talk through these items as and when they come up. We have our madness track down here. Again, I'll talk through this as and when we go through it. And I think that's everything else set up. We've got our C set up. I'm going to have to rearrange this with these new cards in. So we will do that right now. The only other thing that we've got that I haven't got anywhere is our extra dice that come in this nice little bag, and we'll tuck that here. We're going to be using that as we go. Just one housekeeping note: each player gets a lifeboat and a can of worms. I can't find somewhere on the table to put these where they're visible, so I'll keep track of them and we'll use them when we use them, but I'll let you know. Just remember that they're down here. Just to talk about what they do, can of worms will allow you to look at one fish in a shoal and then put it at the top or the bottom of the deck. And the lifeboat allows you to go to port from sea. So if you're out at sea, you normally won't be able to go back to port unless you wait till the next day. Whereas in this instance, you can do some of your action at sea and then go back to port. Quite important at near the end of the game that you can go back and mount some fish. I'll talk about that a little bit later. The only thing that happens when you use this is you do get 10 regrets, and whoever has the most regret at the end of this game is going to have an impediment. So that's pretty much it. Let me get all of these cards shuffled in, and then we'll quickly go through how to play, and then we'll dive in. Not literally, obviously. Okay, so we are back. We're all set up. We've got our Lamentable Tentacle fish in the sea here. We've got our big regret cards. I did Google curmudgeonly, although I kind of knew what it meant. I didn't know the real definition. Apparently it's someone who's grumpy and unpleasant, so it feels quite apt that I picked that up. However, lonely would have been just as fair, I would imagine, but I'm playing a ball game by myself. So let's talk very quickly about how this game is played. This might not be particularly coherent, but I'll do my best. I would recommend, if you don't know how to play the game, go in and check out the first video. It's got a much better description of how to play it, but I will do my best to explain it. We take the role of a fisherman. In this case, we've turned over the cards to give us some alternative art. but if we were to put them on the normal size sideboards, you can see the standard art, but each one of them has a kind of an alternative. All of the players have exactly the same skills, so there's nothing unique necessarily about them. They don't change the way the game plays apart from these new bigger regret cards, which is why it's quite nice to have them in the game. On our player board we have a money track. We're going to gain money when we sell fish. You might find other ways of getting money, but generally it's going to be selling fish. We have our dice. We're going to be rolling these, and that's what we're going to be using to take actions. Generally they'll be catching fish, but they might be a few other things. We are going to potentially mount fish once we catch them in these top slots. Let me just zoom in a little bit so you can see these. In these top slots here we've got a trophy or 2 trophy slots and a prize catch. At the end of the game they're going to be worth double points or triple points as the game goes on. Then we have our boat. This is going to signify where we've gone during the course of a day. And then we have a rod and a reel upgrade. As time goes on, we'll be buying items to improve our chances of catching the fish that we want. So that's our player boards. Next, we have the sea. We're going to be going to sea to catch fish. There's 3 depth levels. Each have different types of fish on them or in them, and what that means is, looking at this card here, there is a breakdown as to how fish can be caught in various locations. So what you can see here is depth 1 to 3 down the left hand side, the difficulty, how many points it's going to take to catch certain fish. So a large fish in depth 3 is going to cost 4 to ? Whereas a small fish in depth 1 is only going to take 0 to 2. So you can determine from this kind of the chances of catching them with how many dice you've got left in your pool. And then finally, there's the concept of fair fish and foul fish. Fair fish generally are standard fish. Foul fish generally will be bad news fish. Not necessarily bad news, because you might be playing into going a little bit mad while you're playing this game, and there's a reason to do that. So this card is going to help us understand what's where. And then we have the madness track. So what's going to happen is, every time we catch a fish, there may be a chance, and some other items do it as well, there may be a chance that we need to grab a regret card. The regret cards are over here, just beside this deck. There's 20 of them in this deck. You count out 10 for each player. They're of random numbers. Some will be 0s, 2s, 1s, 2s, 3s, etc. But if we take a regret, we're going to put that in our area, and we're going to have that regret. There are ways to remove regrets. There's ways to get more regrets. And the reason you may want to get more regret is this tracker down here. So you can see this is showing us the number of regret cards. This is showing us where our person is on that number of regret cards. If we had 4 to 6 regret, we'd move our token down here. That means all fair fish would give us 1 extra buck when we sell them. All foul fish would give us equal value to the standard value when we sell them, and we can have a max die of 5. So as you go a little bit more insane, you get more dice. Equally, your foul fish are going to be worth more. So there are benefits to going a little bit doolally. That said, every time you sell a foul fish, you have to take another regret, which is going to keep adding to your insanity, but equally it's going to add to some of those other things. These cards, I get the feeling, mostly they're going to kind of push you to be a little bit more insane. I didn't really read the top here, so if we go insane and then it's bad news, that's the way it is. We'll figure that out as we go. I'm not going to be trying to play sort of as optimally as I can. I'll do my best to make it so both players are trying to win, but we're just going to kind of breeze through this a little bit. We have our extra dice bag. This has a load more dice in. They're all wooden coloured, and the reason they exist is if you go to port, so at the start of a day you get to choose to whether you're going to sea, whether you're going to port. If you go to port, a few things can happen. The first things you do is you refresh your can of worms. Your can of worms will allow you to look at the top fish of any shoal and decide to put it back at the top or the bottom. You get to refresh any dice. Now I'm just going to check this, but I'm pretty sure refresh any dice means you roll any dice that are in your spent section. So let me just double check that. Refresh, muster your courage again, page 8. So muster your courage reads, Each player takes all of their dice from their spent pool, adding any number of dice from their fresh pool, and rolls them. So that means you can refresh your dice from your spent pool and then re-roll them to get some better numbers. We'll talk about that as and when we get it. And then also we can discard one regret if we want to. You may not want to. Then we get to take some port actions. We get to visit a shop. Any one of these shops will do. We can go to the dice shop. We can spend $1 for an extra die. We can spend $3 to get 2 extra die, $5 to get 3. We put our hand in this bag. I'll be honest, this bag is a little bit too small for my liking, but we put our hand in this bag, we take out the dice. We could buy a rod. If we spend $1, we get 1 rod. If we spend $3, we get to look at 3 and pick 1 up. And if we spend $5, we get 2 rods. You can only ever have 1 rod active, so at the start of the day you have to decide which rod and reel you're taking, but they give certain benefits. You can hold as many as you want, but only 1 can be active. And then you've got a supply shop, which will allow you to take some cards. They may be good for getting rid of regrets. They may be good for getting regrets. They may be good for catching fish. All sorts of stuff happening in that deck. And that is pretty much it. It was a bit of a fly through, but that was pretty much it. The only other thing I haven't spoken about, I don't think, is if you turn over a fish and you realise you can't catch it or you don't want to catch it, you still have to discard your die, but you can take a dink card, which is a slightly smaller benefit sometimes than the supply deck, but could make the difference when trying to catch a certain fish. The only other thing I mentioned is some of these fish will have 0 to catch, or you may have modifiers that bring their catch value down to 0. If that's the case, you do not have to spend a die to catch them, whereas every other action, if you're catching any fish, will spend a die. You don't actually spend die when you're at port. You just take an action and then it goes back to the other, and it will always be one player's turn, then another player's turn, then one player's turn, then another player's turn, while we work our way through these dice. If one player passes, so let's say Barb has used all of his dice and Frod hasn't, Barb passes and it goes back to Frode, and he does something at port, let's say, then it comes back to Barb. He has a choice. He has 2 things he can do. One of them is remove a regret card. The other one is draw a dink card. So there's a benefit to Bulb sort of passing early and Frode still going, but ultimately the game will only go around twice after the penultimate player has passed. So if there's only one player who's still active, it will go round the board twice, and then that's the end of that day. I think that's everything, you'll be pleased to know. I'll stop talking. I'm going to move these cards out of the way just for our benefit, because this will be where I roll the dice. I've got the Lamentable Tentacles, I almost called them testicles, rolls down here. So I think we're good to go. And just remember, we've got a lifeboat and a can of worms each. They're just down here. I'll just tuck them here for now. I'm going to have to keep the hands kind of off screen just a tad, but we'll do our best to show those. I'm also, when I'm using Bulb, I'll be turning the regrets face down so we don't know what Bulb has got, whereas for us, we will know that. So it's day number 1. We're going to roll our dice, so we'll roll first, and we get not a great roll to begin with. We've got 3 1s. So we're going to tuck these over here, and then Bulb is going to roll. And that's a bit better. So 2 2s and a 1. I'm going to be honest, my dice rolling skills are not great. So what happens is, on day 1, you have to choose where you're going. Both players are going to go to sea. So there's no question, there's nothing they can do at port on day 1. Unless they went there and then passed immediately, and that means they're going to get some dinks, but that's just kind of a waste of a turn, really. You want to be catching fish to get some money. You want the money to be able to improve your items. You want your items to then be able to catch better fish. So Frode is going to get this life preserve, and what this means is any action that we want to take is going to cost us -2 once during the day. So if we went to port, we could spend 2 less bucks on something in the shop. If we want to catch a fish and it's a level 3, we can discard this to make it only a catch number 1. And that's the case. So let's just familiarise ourselves with our bigger regrets. Curmudgeonly is If you are alone at your location depth, I can increment a dice by 2. I'm not sure if that's increment 1 dice by 2 or multiple dice by 1. So the action is increment 1 die. So I'm going to assume increment 1 die by 2 is the way that works. Rather than being able to send these two to 2, I could change one of these to 3. And then Bulb, who's lonely, if you are not alone at this location, you can increase a dice by 1. So we're going to immediately turn that die over to a 3 for Bulb. Or do we... No, let's change this one to a 2. There we go. So Bulb's got 3 2s, we've got 3 1s. We're both ready to go. There's nothing else. I'm just going to read through the instructions for the first turn just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. So we move the marker to day 1. We ignore everything else on the start of the day because there isn't anything else to do. But if there was reveal fish, we'll get rid of them. Just to talk very quickly, on Wednesdays and Thursdays, on a Wednesday we'll be able to recover our worm. On a Thursday, we'll be able to get paid $3. On a Friday, we'll be able to recover our worms. And on a Saturday, we get an orange die to add to our dice pool. Reel in. All players at sea must move their boat up 1 depth if they are not already at depth 1. We don't need to worry about that. Muster your courage. Roll all your dice. We've done that. Adding any number of dice from their fresh pool and roll them. They then choose the dice to place into their fresh pool until their max dice is reached. We don't need to worry about that. Any remaining dice are placed in the spent pool. Throw the life preserver. We've done that. Then we get to set your bearings. Starting with the first player and proceeding clockwise, each player declares whether they will be spending the day at sea or at port by placing their boat in the appropriate location. Players who report on the previous day must go to depth 1 at sea. Equip a rod and reel. So we don't need to worry about that. And then take turns. So we're good to go. Right. Bulb is going to try and catch a fish. These two are medium fish. Chances that they're going to be between 1 and 3. So we're going to go here and we're going to turn over this fish straight away. And it is a black scabbard fish. Now we haven't really spoken about what the cards do and say. So let's put this here and we'll have a little look. Here is the black scabbard fish. I have to say the art on these cards is so good. We've got the sale value. The standard sale value. Obviously bear in mind that sale value can be modified and will be modified by the foul and fair cost over here. Then we have the name of the fish and it states so middling, it's a medium sized fish and it's fair. We have the number it's going to take to catch the fish. It's going to cost 2. And then we have down here what happens. These are actions. This one is an eat ability. When we eat, we're going to be able to increment a dice by 1 and remove a regret. And then this last little bit here is just some information. So this one says parasites in their guts tell the story and where they've travelled. Just a little bit of info about the black scabbard fish. So this is turned over. We would put this on here. What I've started doing is putting these boats on here just because we generally pick these cards up. I'll show you them and I often forget where that card came from, because if I decide not to catch this and put this back here, it needs to go back on the same deck. So the black scabbard fish is going to cost 2 to catch. We are going to spend our die to catch the black scabbard fish for Bulb over here, and he's done. So with that being the case, we can put the ship back over here. Now, what are we going to do as us? You know what? I think no. We need to catch fish. We really want small fish, and there isn't any. So we are going to use our can of worms. I'll tuck this over here to say that's been used, and on the back it just has a picture of an empty can of worms. Just so you know, because we're going to refresh them when we go to port. So that means I can look at the top card of any deck and then I can decide whether to keep it or put it back at the bottom. I was hoping to turn this over and see a small fish, but we don't see it. So middling and fair, a barracuda. I think it's going to cost us 3 to catch, but we're going to catch this one. The reason we're going to catch it, again, it's got an eat ability down here. The reason we're going to catch this one is because it's worth 4. We can spend our life preserve to spend $1 to catch, or 1 die to catch this fish. So we now have our barracuda. For the time being, I'll tuck these at the top, but obviously once we mount some cards, we're not going to be able to do that. It's back to Bulb's go, and none of us have caught a dodgy fish yet. So Bulb is going to fish over here this time, and he's going to look, and we have our first foul fish. Let's have a little look. This is a corpse, obviously, middling and foul. Again, the value, if we go to sell it, if we sell this fish at port, we have to take 1 regret. This is going to cost us 2 to catch. On reveal, all players take a regret. So let's do that now. So this is for Bulb, because it's his go, and we have a heavy regret. Gazed too long into the abyss. 2 points. I won't look at these going forward. We know that he's got a 2 for now, but that's the only one we're going to look at. I just wanted to show you the card. And for me, we have a nagging regret. Took a redhead to sea. I don't know if that's that regretful. And I'll tuck those face up on our board. So you can see we've got 1. Bulb has got 1 as well, but we'll start putting these face down. So that's our reveal action. On an eating action, if we were to decide to eat this, we can refresh 2 die. Oh, so maybe this is increment by 2, because this is 2 die here. So I think this is going to be take 3 regrets and then turn a refresh 2 die. 2 die means they come out of your spent pool back into your actual pool, and you're going to be able to do more actions. This is going to cost 2, and I think it makes sense to catch this for Bulb. So we're going to spend our 2 here, and now Bulb has a corpse and a black scabbard fish. It's back to us. We are going to have a little look at this small fish. We really like this to be worth 1. It is. It's a file fish, small and fair. If we were to eat it, we can increment a dice by 1 or discard a random. I think we're going to spend 1, and we're going to tuck this over here. We've got our second fish as well. We're back to Bulb. Bulb's only got a 2 die, so he's going to go for this small fish over here. And this small fish is worth 0. It's a foot. It's worth 0 value, and it's worth 0 to catch. So on reveal, all players get a regret. So this is going to go for the Bulb. We won't look at that. We're going to look at ours. We get a nagging regret. Never learn to whistle. Oh man, that is regretful. Right, then we catch it. We can catch it automatically if we want to, because it's worth 0. We don't have to spend a die for that. So Bulb is going to catch it. Bulb is going to, sorry, I was just reading the text at the bottom of the corpse card. It says, I cannot remember if I pulled this from the ocean or if I brought it here to be rid of it. And then he's got a foot. So maybe they're related, maybe they're not. So 2 foul fish over here. Obviously for Bulb, if he wants to make any money from this, sorry, let's just zoom back to this. You can see this is worth 0 over here. If he wants to make any money from this, he's going to need to go down the track. What we haven't done is we should have moved us down here and Bulb down here, because we've both got 1 to 3. I forget to do that quite a lot, and it can be quite important. So Bulb has got his two foul fish. We're back to us. Bulb didn't have to spend anything. For us, we're going to turn over this small one, and we're going to hope it's worth 0. And it is. It's a trigger fish, small and fair. Some of them are known to, I can't even read that word. To be sigiotoxic, but I'm certain this one is fine. Okay, if we eat it, we can increment a die. So all of our things do kind of the same thing. We're going to spend 1 to catch this. The plus point is if we sell these, they're worth an extra 1. So that's pretty good for us. That's us done. We can't do anything else. Just to talk about this, if we wanted to eat a fish, we could do it right now. It's still our turn. We haven't moved over. We could eat a fish right now. We could use a dink card. We could use a supply or a reel or any of those things. They're known as free actions. If you catch a fish, it's one that costs a die. So Bulb is in a bit of a bad way. There's 2 fish here that are medium, and they could cost 3. So he's going to turn one of these over and hope it's a 2. It's not. It is a 3. It's a giant cuttlefish. It's middling affair. If you catch it, you may choose to swap this fish with one that was underneath, with the one that was underneath it without looking. The patterns on its back change right before my eyes. Well, this is going to have to go back here. Now, Bulb doesn't lose out. He can move this 2 over and take a dink. And let's have a little look at a dink card. So this one here is a fish head. Reduce a fish difficulty by 1. So next time, if this was the situation that Bulb was in, be able to catch a fish with the thing. But that is the day done. I'm going to pass. Bulb is going to pass because none of us can take any other actions unless Bulb wants to eat one of these. But I don't think he does. And we are going to head back to the start of the day. So first thing that happens is this moves up. Tuesday, nothing special happens on a Tuesday. The next thing that happens is we remove this. Now, normally you would put these cards here in the graveyards. I'm not going to do that just because I don't really have room. I'm going to just put them off the side here for that. Okay, so we've done that. The next thing that happens, let's just open the book just to make sure I'm getting this right. The next thing that happens is all players discard fish at sea, trigger any day effects shown on the day tracker. Reel in. All players at sea must move their boat up 1 depth. Well, we're all at depth 1, so that's fine. Muster your dice. So we're back to rolling die again. So Bulb is going to roll and gets a 3, a 2, and a 1. We're going to move the first player marker up to us, and then we're going to re-roll our die. 3 3s. Look at that. We went from 3 1s to 3 3s. Now the bad news is that means we have to give the life preserve to Bulb today because we rolled the highest. Now we get to make a choice. Do we go back to port or do we stay at sea? The fact that I've rolled 3 3s makes me think I should stay at sea and catch whatever fish I can catch in here. So I'm going to stay where I am. However, Bulb is going to come over to port. And he's not got a huge amount of cash, but he's going to try and improve some of these things over here. Or is he? Because he's only really got 1 that he can sell. He's actually going to stay at sea as well, I think. Oh, hold on, that's me. We're both going to stay at sea because of the nature of where we are. However, so that's that. We're not going to port today. It's my go first. I'm going to try and catch a fish, and I'm going to try and catch this giant fish. This is a striped marlin. It's worth 5, and on reveal I can remove a nagging regret. I'll look at the never learn to whistle. I'll take that one away, and we'll keep the took a redhead to see one. This is worth 5, so that's good news. The prideful. You know what? It's easier for me to do this because I can't quite see it. The prideful covet their fins and beauty. Is that what that says? The prideful covet their fins. Okay, that makes sense. Sorry, really couldn't read it. Right, so that's our extra fish. So we've got a fish worth 5. We might want to think about mounting it. Sorry, there was a big truck just go past. Right, what happens next? It's back to... so we had to spend a die to... Oh, hold on, it's worth 4. We're going to have to spend 2 die to do that. That's the bad news. One thing I didn't say is you do not get change when you get rid of these die. So if we want to catch it, it's going to cost us 6 to catch a 4 fish. That's not particularly useful. Okay, we have 1 card. You've still got 2, so that's fine. I think we're going to spend 1 die as Bulb, and we are going to go down a depth. And then, so it's a free action to drop sinkers and move your ship down. And then we're going to turn over this big scary one at level 2. And we've got a humpback whale. On reveal, all players discard 2 regret. So these go away. Now these, when they're discarded, go into the discard pile over here, and this one goes away as well. It's not an optional thing. Then increase a die. Well, that's bad news. I don't have one to increase. This does not count as an action. Discard the humpback whale, so it's not got any value on it. So this goes over to the graveyard over here, and then we can increment a die. So obviously Bulb is going to increase this. We cannot increase it because ours is already at the maximum, so that's bad news for us. Okay, so Bulb is still fishing, so Bulb is going to go here, I think, and have a look at this one. So this is a box jellyfish. On reveal, re-roll one of your fresh die. Doesn't want to. I think you can choose to do it. I don't think you can with discarding of regrets, but I think I might be making that up. It might be me as a house rule. Number of regret cards, regret value, discard. When an effect ability requires you to discard a regret, select one and place it. Yeah, so you have to. I don't know about rolling. Don't know about rolling die. I'm going to assume it's the same thing. You get to choose whether to roll or not. There is a bit in the back with some cards on. Let's just have a little look. Humpback whale. If revealed in a fishing action, you may fish again. If revealed by an item or ability, continue your turn after it. So yeah, it doesn't tell us. I'm going to assume that we don't have to discard. So this one is worth 2. We've got a card of 3. So what he's going to do is use his life preserve to catch this for 0, and therefore doesn't have to spend a die. So box jellyfish is ours. Okay, back to us. So we're back up here. Medium fish are 1 to 3, so we're going to take this one. And we have, a ghoul ray. Doesn't look ideal, the old ghoul ray. So on catch, we'd gain a regret. It's going to cost us 2 to catch and is worth 2. If we were to eat it, we can refresh some die and take some regrets. Its eyes looked in every direction, yet it knows not, nor does it care what it eats. These ones are slightly easier to read because they're green on blue. Okay, so the ghoul ray, are we going to catch this? I think we are, and then I think we're going to eat it. On catch, we need to take a regret. So we'll take this one. It's a trivial regret. It's worth nothing. Then we're going to eat. So we are going to refresh 2 of our spent die. So we get to take them out here and re-roll them. 2 1s. Fantastic. And then we also gain 2 more regret. So we've got another trivial regret and another trivial regret. I did shuffle these, I promise. And then I guess we'll throw that in the graveyard. We ate a dodgy fish. I mean, what can you do? Okay, we're back to Bulb's go. He's going back for this giant fish here. It is a brittle lung. Let's just zoom in a bit on this. On reveal, take a regret. Okay, there's your regret, Bulb. So Bulb should have been at 0 for the time being. On regret, take a regret. Must be caught with exactly 3 die. If you don't catch it, discard it. Now he doesn't have 3 die, so he's going to put this over here in the thing, but he's going to get to take a dink for it, and the dink in this one is an odd ring. I can discard 3 regrets, so we'll keep that here as well. Okay, that's 1 die gone, unfortunately. We don't get to do anything with that. It's back to us. We've got 2 dice at 1, so we're going to take a smaller fish. We've got a Geist. It's worth 0, and it's worth 0 to catch. On catching it, we get a regret. On eating it, we can refresh a die and get a regret. It fades in and out of sight each time it returns different, somehow changed. So we get to catch this for free. We'll tuck this over here. It's going off the screen a little bit. We get to catch that for free, but that's the end of our go. And we have to take a regret, which is a deep regret. This one is stare deep into the eyes of the Kraken. Okay, we are now at 4 regrets, so we move down on the tracker to the 3rd level. Our good fish are worth, our fair fish are worth +1. Our negative, our foul fish are equal to 0. However, we can now have 5 die. We're back to Bulb, and Bulb is going to go for this medium fish here, which could be up to 2 to 4 in cost. It is a 4. It's a Bowel Angel. Look at the state of this one, just for the record. Someone's intestines as a fish. I love that. Right, on this it says, on reveal, everyone gets a regret. So Bulb is going to take another one, and so are we, and ours is a nagging regret. Cheated at cards. It's not me. Never do that. So this is going to catch 4. It costs 4 to catch. Now we can discard a fish to make that happen, and it's worth 5. So I think it might be something we do here. I don't really know where Bulb is going because he's got a load of fish here that don't really kind of add up. Everything's heading in a foul direction, so maybe both of us are heading towards the foul. We're going to spend our 3. We're also going to use our fish head to catch it. I'm going to tuck this out of the way, and the Bowel Angel is ours. Did we take a regret? I think we did. I'm not 100%. I'm sure we did, right? I'm sure we did, because he's now at 2, and I don't think he would have been. I'm going to assume we did. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, it's back to us. We're going to try and catch this little dinky. It's a Man of War, small and fair. Give this to another player of your choice. What if I don't want to? So this goes over here, and that's us done for our turn. And then it comes back to Bulb, and Bulb is going to pass. Right, so it comes back to us. So we're going to look at another small fish. We need it to be worth 2. There it is. A flounder. It's worth 2, so we're going to spend our 2 die to catch it, and we can tuck this over here. Okay, that's us done. I apologise that the fish are going out of screen a little bit for both players, but we're going to sell some in a bit, I'm sure. It's going to come back to Bulb. Now, Bulb has already passed, so Bulb gets to take an action, and he's going to discard. Is he going to discard? He's going to discard one of his regrets over here. I'm just going to turn these over so they're face down because that makes more sense. So that is over there. And now it's back to us. Bulb should have really used his can of worms, but I kind of forgot. It's on me, that. So Bulb has got 1 regret. We have... How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're at the right level as well. Both of us are done. So we are going to go back to the start of the day. What happens is the ship comes back up 1 level. Bulb could have been catching fish at the level above. He doesn't have to fish at the level he is. It's that or the one above. So that happens. We discard any fish that are turned over. There isn't any. We move the day tracker. We also move the first player marker down here. On this day, worms are recovered. So we're going to turn over our worms and tuck them back down here. And then we get to roll the dice. I wish there was just a card. I don't think there is, that just had the steps for this first part of the day. And it's pretty straightforward, but I forget a lot. So really, and all players at sea must move their boat up 1 depth. Each player takes all their dice, so we're mustering our dice again because there's nothing to discard here. So we're going to roll our die. So 3 1s for Bulb. That's pretty good when you're going to port, to be fair. And then for us, a 1, 2, and a 3. Okay, but realistically, both of us are going to want to go to port because we need to sell some of these fish. Although I don't know what Bulb is going to do. So the life preserve goes to Bulb, and Bulb is immediately going to say, I'm going to port, and so am I. So we're going to just go through actions. We don't spend dice to do these actions. The first thing we're going to do is be able to sell fish. And I don't know what Bulb is going to do. I think he's going to sell his Bowel Angel. He's going to sell his box jellyfish. And he's going to sell his black scabbard fish. And then lastly, he's going to sell his Man of War. You can sell as many as you want. So the Man of War, let's see what we get. So the Man of War is worth 1 extra, so that's up to 2. The box jellyfish is worth extra 1 as well, so that's another 4. So we're up to 6. I think he's going to keep his Bowel Angel with that being the case. And then he's going to sell his black scabbard, so that's another 4. So he's up to 10. So all of those have been sold. He's got to make a decision as to whether he goes whether he goes for foul fish, and since he's got 3 of them, he might well do that. We have got to make a decision. Let's sell our small fish. Let's sell our flounder. So ours are worth slightly less down here. So ours are worth +1 actually. So it's exactly the same. So this one's worth 3. So we go up to 3. This one is worth 2. Oh, as is this one. So that's another 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're at $7. And I think we're going to stop there. Now, did Bulb sell a dodgy fish? I don't think he did. All of his fish were good. So nothing to worry about. If either of us had sold a foul fish, we would reduce our, gain a regret card. But we don't need to worry about that. Okay, start of the day, we have to look at how many regret cards we've got and move this up. I might have missed this last time. So this is going to go here for Bulb, because 1 to 6, and this is going to go here for us, 1 to 6. And then if you are alone at your location, I'm not. Whereas if you're not alone, these basically just play off each other. 2 dice can be incremented, so we'll do that for Bulb. Okay. It's now, so we've sold fish. We're going to have to make a decision on whether we're mounting fish or not. And I think Bulb is going to actually mount this foul fish and try and embrace the insanity. So mounting, you can put it where you want in these boards, but we'll put it in the 2 slot because we're hoping to catch something a little bit better a little bit later down the line. The question for us is whether we want to try and go for fair fish, try and go for foul fish. At the moment, this all feels a bit of the wrong way because Bulb has got something that can discard foul regrets. But it's us. We're going to go shopping, I think. We are going to go and spend 3 die to buy a reel. We're going to pick up 3 of these. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to spend our 3 here. And we're going to turn these over. And we've got 3 reels. Let's have a look at these a little bit closer. We have the Reel of the Infinite. Once per day, if you are at sea, you may move your boat down by 1 depth. Really pushing us to try and catch those dodgy fish. A Manifold Reel. Once per day, you may set any 2 fresh dice to their highest value. Really pushing us to catch the good fish. Bone Wheel. Retain unspent points on dice. So if we try and catch a fish that's worth 1, we catch a fish that's worth 1, and this is in play, we can keep those 2 if it's on a free die. I think we are going to... We're going to take the Manifold Reel, which will allow us to... reel go over here. Allow us to... Once per day, you may set any 2 die to their highest values. We're going to get rid of these 2 reels, and we spent $3 to do that, so we're going to move this down 1, 2, 3. Money is worth 1 point per 2 coins at the end of the game. We're now over to Bulb, who's also going to go fishing. Bulb is going to buy 2 dice. So he's going to spend 3, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, sorry, let's just show you that. So our Manifold Reel is here. Bulb is now spending this to get 2 dice. So we dive into this bag and I say, it's just a little bit too tight. Look, I can't get my fingers in here properly. So he's spending 3, so he's going to get 2 dice. So we've got these 2. And he's got a green and a blue. I'll just show you these close up and hopefully remember to change the camera back. So a green die has a 1, a 1, a 2, and a 3, whereas an orange has 2 2s and 2 3s. When we get them, we get to roll them. So we got a 2 and a 1, and they go straight in to the fresh pool as long as we have the space for it. So you can see here, space of 5, they can go straight into the fresh pool. So that's Bulb done. Now it's back to us. What are we going to do? We've got 2 dice left, but only a total of 3. I think we're going to go and spend 1 to pick up a rod. It's just going to be whatever rod we get. We've got the Rod of Fortune. Fair fish costs 1 less to catch. I think this might be taking the mickey because we were heading down a foul route, but everything we've got is potentially saying we should go for fair, whereas Bulb was kind of leading towards a fair fish but now everything is kind of heading towards we should be getting as many regrets as we can. So both players might have to pivot. We spent 1 to do that. Oh, I didn't have to spend. Oh yeah, we don't have to spend die here, right? We spent 1 to do that, so we're down to 3. Now Bulb is going to have his go. He's going to buy a rod, so he's going to buy 1, 2, and 3 of these. So this goes down again. So 1, 2, and 3 to $4, and we'll turn these over. We've got the Rod of the Dead. You may choose to ignore reveal events or catch abilities on fish when you reveal them. Rod of the Infinite. When you cast, peek at the top 3 fish of the shoal and place them back in any order before revealing the top fish. And middling fish cost loss 1 less. We're obviously going to take the Rod of the Infinite, right? It's going to give us a huge amount of variety when we're picking, and it might be the reason we go down to the lower depths. So we'll put this back over here. Back to us. We have free money. We are going to take 2 dice, I think. So we'll delve in here and we'll pick up these 2. We've got 2 blues. Now the blues have 0, 1, and 2 on them, so not great. And we got a 0 and a 2. Not ideal. We can have a maximum of 5 dice, so all good there. Okay, that's us done. We spent 3 there, so we're down to 0. Now we're back to Bulb. Bulb is going to buy a reel, I guess. So 1, 2, 3, down to $1. And we'll have a little look. We've got the Reel of Fortune, the wooden brass reel, and the solid brass reel. Once per day, you may re-roll any number of your fresh die. Pretty good. Wooden brass reel. Once per day, you may re-roll up to 2 of your fresh die. Reel of Fortune. Once per day, you may re-roll any of your fresh die until they have a value greater than 1. We'll take the Reel of Fortune, I guess, and we'll tuck that over here. The reels will go back. We're going to go back to us. We're going to pass. Then we're going to come back to Bulb, who's going to spend his 0 here to buy a supply item. And it's a bag of maggots. Reduce a fish difficulty by 2. We're just going to tuck that over to the side. Interestingly, what we would have done is used our life preserve, which actually makes this worth 2 less. So we can pick up 3 and keep 1 because we don't have to spend the money on it. So we've got Dark Rum, which will allow us to discard 3 regrets, and we've got Moonshine, which will allow us to discard 4 regrets. Everything is really pushing. We have to keep 1 of these. Let's get rid of this one, and we'll get rid of the rum, and we'll keep the Moonshine. Everything is really pushing Bulb into a nice game, whereas everything's really pushing us into a less nice game. But we might end up both staying at level 1 at this rate. Interestingly, once you've mounted a fish, you cannot unmount it. Okay, I think that's us done. No one went out to sea today, so we move here. It's Thursday. Both players get $3 because they're at the on Thursday. That's what happens. Don't feel like this is going particularly well for either of us, if I'm honest. We get to discard any fish we don't need to. We raise a level we don't need to. We get to re-roll all of our die. And because of the Rod of Fortune, we can re-roll any die until they have a greater value. So there we go. We've got a 2, a 3, a 3, a 3, and a 3. And I'm just going to check. I'm just going to read it again. Each player takes all dice from their spent pool, adding any number of dice from their fresh pool. So we can leave the 3 here, but we're going to re-roll all of these. And then we're going to wish we hadn't. We got another 3, another 0, and 2 1s. That was a 1, right? And that was a 0. So what have we got? Once per day, you may set any 2 fresh dice to their highest value. So we'll set you to a 2, and we'll set this one to a 3. Actually, hold on, we're going to wait. So you're a 1, you were a 1. Oh, no, you were a 2 or a 1? You were a 2, I think. We're going to tally up these dice. So 3, 3, 3, 3 versus this. We are going to get this. We also get the first player icon. Now, when we were at port, we had a choice. And we should have done this straight away and we didn't. So we won't do it. But we could have discarded any regrets, but we won't do it now. But we just need to remember, if we go to port, we can discard regrets. Okay, it's back to us. You've still got one card. We've still got 5 regrets, I think. It's back to us, and we are going to go to sea. Obviously, both players are going to go to sea. And I think we're going to stay fishing at this top level. So we are going to turn over this card and have a little look. We have the Blanket Octopus, large and fair. This is one from the Lamentable Tentacles. We may have missed some others, but we'll show you that. You can see here, this little icon indicates that. And it's got a new action. So when we catch it, if we catch it, we get to roll or flip the coin. If we get a heads, we keep the fish. If we get a tails, we discard the fish. That doesn't seem ideal, but it is what it is. So let's spend the 2 we're going to need to spend to catch it. I'm actually going to use the life preserve, so we don't need to worry about it. So we've caught this for nothing, but we need to flip this coin now. This coin, sorry, I didn't show you any of that, but this coin is possibly the best coin ever, right? There's your heads, and there is your genuine tail. I love that, so good. Right, we've caught the Blanket Octopus. We're going to put it up here in a second, but we have to flip this, and we got a tails, which is discard this fish and draw a dink instead. That is not ideal. So we didn't spend anything, but we used the thing. Let's just check it. Was a 2 value, right? Yes. We've got whitebait. Reduce the fish difficulty by 1. So we've basically used our life preserve to get a worse benefit. Great. Okay, it's down to Bulb. Now what's Bulb going to do? Because Bulb has got some benefits, but he's also got a load of things that are going to allow him to get rid of his dink. So I think he's going to stay at this level. I think it makes sense to stay at this level and just keep these in the hand. I wonder if they're worth negative value when scoring. I guess they are. It's a good question, me. I don't know the answer to that. There's nothing to say they're not, I don't think. The end to all players. Fish in hand are scored by their printed value, but are modified by their current level on the madness tracker. So if you've got these 2 fish at the end of the game, they're going to be worth -2. Interesting. Okay, well, we can do something about that. We can do a lot about that, actually, so that's pretty good, actually, for Bulb. Bulb is going to stay here. He's going to fish for this giant fish, and this is a swordfish, large and fair. So on catch, you can discard a regret, and it's going to cost 4 to catch. So I think he's going to use his... he's going to use his bag of maggots, which is going to reduce a fish difficulty by 2. And then he just needs to use his 2 die to catch this swordfish. Very nice. Okay, then we're over to, and on catching, disregard a regret. So that goes over here, and we're back up to 0. If we went back to sell these, they'd be worth a huge amount more. Back to us. We are going to... Are we going to pivot? Are we going to pivot based on the fact that we have regrets? I think we might. We're going to spend 1 to go down 1 level. We're then going to spend another 1 to go down another level. We're just going to embrace the fact that we want to go a bit mad. We're going to turn over one of these big depth 3 cards. We've got the Phantom Jellyfish, large and fair. Reroll 1 of your fresh die on a pickup. We don't really want to do that. This is going to cost us 3 to catch. Oh no, free to catch, because fair fish costs less. So we're going to spend our 3, and we're going to tuck this over here. So good card to get mounted for us. That's us done. We are then back to Bulb, who's going to continue fishing at the top here, I think. Oh, Bulb didn't use his rod. He's going to look at 3 of these fish and then put them back in any order. Sorry, that's when you cast, you can do that. So let's have a little look. Also, we didn't get to do this. If you're a location you're not alone, you can increase 2 dice. You didn't need to, and if we are alone, we benefit from that. We're not alone. Right. So for us, we get a sheep's head, middling and fair. So this is for Bulb. There's an eat ability on it. It's going to cost 1 and be worth 2. We've got a black sea bass. which is exactly the same. And then we've got a Fugu. On reveal, you can catch it for 2 this turn. So I think that's what he's going to do, because it's worth slightly more than the others. So we'll spend this 3 and we will catch this Fugu. And the other 2, I think they were from this one, go back at the bottom here. I need to make sure I'm putting the fish on top there. I think that's everything. Okay, so that's you done. We're back to us. We're going to fish down here again. I'm going to go for one of these large ones now. It could really cause us a problem because we don't have that much to catch it with. We got the Bane of the Stars, large and foul. On catching, get 2 regret and move every boat at sea to depth 2. It's going to cost 6 to catch. Now we can catch this, but it's going to cost all of our die because we have the white bait. So we're going to use the white bait, and the white bait goes over there, and then it's going to cost us 6 to catch. So we've reduced it to 5, and we spend a 2 and a 3 to catch it. And then on catching it, we get 2 regrets. So 1 and 2. We have 2 heavy regrets. Read the king in yellow and left my love for the sea. Okay, how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for us. So we go back over here, and this goes down to here. So now our normal fish are worth medium and our foul fish are worth more. We're really in a bit of a pickle over here with what we're doing. And this goes over here, but every ship now goes to level 2. Not so bad for bulb, because you can fish here or the level above. That's us done. We're back to Bulb. Bulb is actually going to fish at this level. I think he's going to pick up this medium fish, which could be a 2 to 4. It's an overmind. There's a 1 to 1 chance, even odds, to get a fair or foul fish. You must catch the overmind if possible. When you make port, you must mount the overmind immediately if you have any available slots. This is not an action. So what does that mean? We have to spend the 3 to do it. You must catch if possible. When you make port, you must mount immediately. This is not an action, I see. So we tuck this over here. There's a reason I'm using our normal dice here. The reason we're using them is we can keep these for the next turn if we want to. However, we're only allowed a maximum of 4 die. I don't know what happens when we are mad and we get less mad, which means we get max dice. The maximum number of dice you can place on your fresh pool any one time, the less you look after yourself. When purchasing, if you acquire more dice than your max, what happens if your madness drops and you have more than 1 fresh? The only time you need to check your max dice is when acquiring new dice or refreshing. Perfect. So who was it doing this? This was whatever it's called doing this, right? So this goes down here. We moved a 3 over, and if we go to port, we're going to have to immediately put this into our mounted fish. So where we've got fair fish, we might want to be moving into the world of madness with Bulb. Everything indicates that we should be going there. Oh, hold on a second. Let's just backtrack, because we get to look at free fish and put them back in any order. Okay, we've got a spider crab. We might want to take that. We've got the Amulet of Argatha. Small and foul. Display face up in front of you. Take the omen dice and treat it as one of your player die. It's going to cost 3 to catch, and we're going to get 3 regrets. I just want to read, because there's a separate section about this in here. The omen die. If you're lucky enough to catch the Amulet of Argatha, you get to treat this die as one of your player die. For more details, turn to page 27. 27. This can't be sold, has no value, and does not score. When you catch it, take the red omen die, roll it, and put it in your fresh pool. If in your fresh pool, if your max dice allows. If not, place it in your spent pool. Treat it exactly like a player die. If the ability forces you to discard the amulet, immediately discard the omen die. Okay, so it's going to give us an extra die for free, really. So I think we're going to take it. We're going to spend the 3 to catch it. And we're going to put that down here, and immediately we get to roll this die and put this over here in our fresh... Ooh, let's roll that again, because I don't know what it was on. It's on 3, and we put that over here. We're going to put these back, in any order. So we're going to put the Overmind back a lower level. Right, it's back to us. We are going to pass because we don't want to take any things here. Then comes back to Bulb. Bulb has got a choice to make. He could keep his fresh die and keep those in there, but he's only going to be allowed a maximum of 4 dice next time. So I think he's going to take one more go at fishing, and he's going to take everything indicates we should be going foul over here, but we're going to look over here. So we're going to take 1, 2 and 3, and we get a Scrat, a reveal action, a Tiger Shark. It's worth 5. Discard 1 small fish. We can do that, interesting. And a Hammerhead Shark, discard 1 small fish. These are both exactly the same. So what do we like better? Let's take the Tiger Shark because it's got such a grin on its face. We're going to spend one of these die. We'll spend this one. Discard 1 small fish. We're going to get rid of our foot over here. And we're going to put this down here. So we've now got a fish. These 2 go back. We're going to put this one back here. It comes back to to us, Frode. We're gonna turn one of these over. We got a finger, reduce a fish difficulty by 1, so we'll keep that over here. It's gonna come back to Bulb, who's gonna fish again. He's gonna fish in the same spot because he knows there's a large one underneath this. So he's gonna take this one. This is the Tri-Tentacle. It's gonna cost 4 to catch for each foul fish in your hand. Oh, gain 1 regret for each foul fish in our hand. There's only 1 at this moment in time, so that's fine. I'm guessing the amulet counts as a fish, so there's 2, but that's fine. So we're going to catch this. So this is large and foul. Are we going to catch this? Or no, we'll put this back and we'll put this one back. We're going to take the Hammerhead Shark. It's worth 5. Discard 1 small fish. We do have a small fish, which is our Fugu is gone, but we get to put this Hammerhead Shark over here. Got a load of fish worth 5 over here, which is pretty nice, and that costs 1 die to catch, so we'll put this one over here. Comes back to us. We're going to take another dink because I don't want to be discarding regrets. Reduce the shop cost by 2. Nice, pretty nice over there. I think that's everything. We could fish again, but I think we're going to pass. So in fact, yeah, we're going to pass, and we've passed anyway. And actually, because it's gone round twice, it would always end at that section there anyway. So that's us done for Thursday. It was a busy Thursday. We go to Friday. We can recover our worms. None of us use them because we're idiots. And the boats go back up to level 1. We discard any uncovered fish. We don't have any. We get to roll our die. When we spend these wooden die, they immediately go back in the bag. So that was me being an idiot. Now we get to re-roll some die. So we're going to roll for Frode. We're going to roll these 3 because only have a maximum of 4. So we got a 1 and a 1 and a 3, but we get to re-roll dice until you get a value greater than 1. So we got a 3 and a 2 over here. So that's good news. Comes back to us. We're going to re-roll these die. We got our 2 1s and a 2, so these go over here. With that being the case, we're going to get a 2 for the life preserve. The first player token's coming down here. And now we have a decision to make. Are we going to start mounting fish? Are we going to do anything? We're in a pretty bad way. When we're not, if we can get those fish mounted, we'll be in a good place. But the problem we've got is we've got no real good ways of getting down lower. And interestingly, when you mount a fish, if you have the highest regret number, you're going to have to discard one of your mounted fish. So there's a couple of benefits for doing a few things here. Okay, I think I'm going to stay at sea. Am I going to stay at sea? So I can mount 2 fish, I can sell a fish, I can buy some stuff which will help me. I'm actually going to go to port. So we're going to take ours, we're going to go to port, and You're going to stay at C, I think, because you've got extra die to deal with. We have 7 regret, I think. Let's just check that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 regret, which means all other players at your location depth gain a regret the one time we're not at a place. You have 0, so this goes back up here to that. Okay, so Bulb is the first player, so he is going to carry on fishing at the top here. He's going to look at the top 3 cards of this deck, and he's just going to keep ploughing away trying to get good fish. We've got a Tumorous fish, we've got an Osteo fish, and we've got a Sockeye salmon. So we're going to spend 1 to catch the Sockeye salmon. It's not a great fish for us, but it will be worth something at the end of the game, and all of these are worth an extra 2. These 2 go back in the middle here, and we're not going to fish back there. I'm just going to tuck this here to remind me that that's where we went. We're back to us. We are going to mount some fish, I think. So we are going to mount our Phantom Jellyfish, and we're going to mount our Bane of Stars, not Stairs. Did I say Stairs the first time? I think I might have done. Bane of Stars. That goes there. And then do we want to mount this in preparation for the fact that we're going to have the most regret, so it's going to actually cost us nothing when we lose it? I think I'm going to say yes. I'm going to tuck this here because we have to get rid of our lowest value card, which is always going to be that one. So that's us done. We are then going to come back to Bulb. Bulb is going to fish over here. He's going to look at the top 3. A small one, and a large one. We have a Lionfish. We have a Mimic Octopus. And we have, so swap this for a small fish in your hand. And then we have a Manta Ray. $4. It's worth $4 and it's got 3 to catch. We're going to go for this one. We'll tuck this back down here, making note that there is a large fish under that one. Manta Ray, large and fair. All players at sea lose 1 regret. So we haven't got any, we're not at sea. And then we're going to catch this. So this 3 comes over here, and this goes into our caught fish. Back to us, we're going to sell some fish, I think. So we're going to sell our Barracuda. That's worth equal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're up to 7. We sell the Barracuda, and this goes over here. Okay. That's us done. We're back to Bulb, who's going to look over here again. So 1, 2, and 3. Just tuck this back over here. We know what we've got here, but we've also got a Parasitic Larvae, large and foul. On reveal, catch automatically, display face up in front of you. Anytime you would draw regret cards, draw 1 more. Oof, pretty rough. So it doesn't cost anything to catch. Anytime you would draw a regret card, draw another one. There's medium fish under this, so we're going to tuck this back here. It's back to us. We are going to do some shopping, and I think we're going to buy some die. We're going to go over here, and really we want an extra 3 because we can have 6. So we're going to spend $5 to pick 3 die out of this bag. We have 1, 2, and 3. 2 blues and an orange. Okay, let's roll these. A 2, a 0, and a 3. Nice. Okay, so that's us done with our action. Back to Bulb. Bulb, I guess, is going to fish again. Now, we know there were some weird things over here, but we're going to look just in case. We've got a Scrap, we've got a Tri-Tentacle, and we have... Please be good, please be good. Oh, Haley's foul. That's not great. So if you don't catch the Scrat, give it to the player on your right. That's not a bad thing, actually. It's not great, but for us, they're worth -2. All players gain a regret, and then and that's it for that one. And then the Tri-Tentacle is catch for each we gain a regret for each foul fish in your hand. So I think we're going to go with the Scrat. It's not good for us, but it's not horrendous. So we're going to take the Scrat. We're not going to catch it, and that means we have to give it to us over here. We spend the 3 to do this. We'll use this one again, and I think we had 2 left. I'm not 100% sure, and we get a Dink, a Locket. Reduce the shop cost by 1. Okay, it's back to us. We have 2 monies. I'm going to spend 1 and use a pearl to buy a new rod. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, what have we got? We've got Rod of the Deep. When you cast, peek at the top 2 fish. Place them back in any order. Small fish cost -1 with that, or foul fish cost 1 less with that. We're going to take that one because we're going to try and get down to the lowest level, and we're going to try and fish down there for something huge. We're going to look for a whopper. Okay, that's us done. We've shopped. We're back to Bulb. I'm going to assume he still had 1 die left. Bulb is going to, I guess, look over here. 1, 2, and 3. And what have we got? We have the Mimic Octopus. We've got the Tidal Trafficker. On reveal, take a regret, and then take the top card of the suppliers deck. And then discard this card. It doesn't cost anything to catch, so we're going to do that. We're going to put that over here. We're going to take the top card of the supply deck as a Diving Lantern. Reveal 3 fish in any order. We'll have to just have a read about what that does. But we also get a regret. And that takes this down by 1. Oh, hold on. I think I've got the things in the wrong way around. I apologise. So this goes down by 1. Hopefully that's still the right thing. I think it is. And these 2 go back over here. I just wonder if it tells us what the Diving Lantern does in a bit more detail. Because does that mean I can look in different locations, or what does it do? Diving Lantern. Deep Diver, Tidal Trafficker, the Plug, Sea Monkeys, Sharks, Whispering Skull, Rod of the Dead, Bone Wheel. I can't see it, and this says reveal 3 fish in any order. What does that mean? Reveal 3 fish in any order. Why would the order matter? I might be missing something. Because, maybe I'm just going to assume that we're going to look at any 3 from any things. So that didn't cost us a die. We're back to us. We've got the Life Preserve. Did I use it? I don't know if I did. I'm not sure if I'm going to assume I did use the Life Preserve. We've got $1. We are going to go to the supply shop and spend our $1. And we got a bucket of chum. Gain 3 regret and reduce a fish difficulty to 0. That is huge. That's all our money gone. We're back to Bulb. I don't think Bulb wants any of these fish. They're all sucky. Right, we're going to take 1, 2, and 3 from here. I wish we'd have gone down an extra depth. Okay, we have the Sea Cattle. It's worth 3. And if we eat it, we get 5 regret. I think we're going to take it because it's just the most valuable fish here, but it's not really that valuable for us. And these 2 go back in the middle, I think. Okay, that's our last dice spent over here. Is there anything else we want to do? We've got no more money. I could mount a fish. I don't really want to. I can't mount a fish. We've mounted them all. I think that's us done. Okay. There's a lot going on. It's Saturday. We get an extra die. Now, we can't use this, unfortunately, but we might be able to use it a little bit later. So we both get an extra orange die. So this goes in here. This one goes in the bin. I could have just kept that. This one goes over here. And these 2 go in the bin. Now, the problem we've got is our fresh pool is our fresh pool. We can't take out a blue die and swap it for an orange die. I don't believe. So take turns, starting with the first player. No, that's not it. Muster your dice. Take all dice from their spent pool, adding any number of dice from their fresh pool and roll them. They then choose the dice to place in the fresh pool until their max limit. So we do get to re-roll all of them. Okay, let's just do this. So we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 over here. And you're at 1. So on 1, we have to choose where we're going. We have to move the first player marker, and then we get to remove any fish. There isn't any. We get to roll 3 die, or all our die, so we'll do that. A load of ones, but we can re-roll all ones, so we'll do that. No, we'll keep the ones for now, because that would just be the clever thing to do. So we're only allowed a maximum of 5 die, so that's all of those. Now we get to re-roll. Great, 2 zeros. I don't know if that was a 3 or a 2. I think I might have turned it over. I'm not 100% sure. Another 3, and then 3 ones. Once per day, you may set any 2 dice to their highest value. So we're going to set this one to a 3. Oh no, let's leave this as a 1 as well. So at the moment, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the life preserve is going to come down here. Then we're going to set these 2 to 3s. We get to take out 6 die, so we've got 7. So we'll get rid of one of these, I guess, for now. Yeah, we'll get rid of one of these for now. And then, so that was that. We are at 7 cards, so all other players at your location or depth. So we'll figure that out in a second, because we're going back to sea. You get to, once per day, you may re-roll all of your fresh die until they have a value greater than 1. So we'll re-roll all 3 of these. 3 3s, huge. Okay, so that's that done. We're first player, you're here. I think we've swapped that around, I'm not 100% sure. We get to make a decisions where we're going. I'm going to sea, and I think you're going to stay at sea, although you really want to get back. But we can use our lifeboat to get back and mount some fish, so that's going to be fine. Okay. Right. Last day, I feel like this has gone off the roads and rails a little bit, but last day, we're going to go first. We are going to spend our 0 die to move down a level. So down we go. Then we're going to spend a 1 die to go down another level. Then we are going to catch a fish. We're going to use our worms, and so we get to look at the top fish and decide whether to put it at the top or the bottom. It's a Roca Barragar Denzian, large and foul. On catch, get 2 regrets. All other players get a regret, so we're definitely going to try and catch this. It could cost us 6, but we could discard it to a 0, and I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to use our chum. We get 3 regrets. 1, 2, and 3. We've got 3 nagging regrets. Got stood up by a mermaid. Confused pipe tobacco with dried chum. Listen to conch lies. And that puts us up to 10, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that goes over here, and this goes to the 10 to 12 option, which means this comes down. Oh no, it's at the start of the day, I think, right? Let's just check this. At the start of each game, at the start of each day. So we should have done this when we were at 7 to 12. All players at your location or depth gain a regret. So we need to reshuffle these. And you would have got a regret. And if you are not alone, increase a die by 1. So we could have increased this up to a 3. So there we go. That's that done. These are quite interesting, but they're a little bit fiddly to remember. I'm sure it's just take us a little bit of time. I don't know if I needed to shuffle these. I'm just going to reshuffle all of them now because I got myself in a bit of a muddle. Right, okay, these go back over here. So that's us done. We've moved down, we've caught fish. Interestingly, if I'd have not used this card, so this octopus, where is it? What was I catching? What did I do with the fish? I was over here. It would have cost 6, and I could have used that to get it down by 1, used that to get it down by another, so it would have cost 4. It still would have cost us 2 die, so I think this is fine. We'll put this over here. Okay, we've used this, so we get 3 of those. We've already done that, so we can tuck this over here. But I think there was a on catching we get 2 more regrets. 1, 2, so we're at 12. We got a heavy regret and a nagging regret. Forgot where I buried the body and never learned to whistle. We got it back. We thought we got rid of it, but we've got it back. And then all other players get 1 regret as well. So there's another one over here. So up to 3 over here, but we can get rid of those. So all good. Okay. What is our boy going to do? He's going to go down 1 level to here, and then he's going to start looking at fish. So 1, 2, and 3. We have a spider crab, the overmind, and a northern stargazer. If you don't catch the northern stargazer, shuffle it into the shoal. Spider crab, sorry. If we eat it, there's an action. So we're going to spend 3 to catch a spider crab, and we're going to put these 2 back on here like so. We're just going to put that there to say that's where we went. There's our spider crab, that goes down here. We've spent our die to do it. Okay, it's back to us. We need to fish. We're going to take one of these, I guess. We'll take this medium one. It is a Baffial Queen, middling and fair. On catch, get 2 regrets, reel any number of fish in any order. Okay, how do I put them back? Let's just see what it says for reveal here. So reveal says, turn the top fish of a shoal over so all players can see. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's what that does as well. So this is going to be worth... it's going to cost 5 to catch. However, we've got a finger and our reel. Our rod. So we're going to spend our finger and our rod. So that only costs 3 to catch, and we're going to move that over here, and we're going to catch this one. On catch, we get 2 regrets. So we are well and truly going insane. We got murdered my only friend for money, gazed too long into the abyss, and we get to reveal as many fish as we want. So I'm going to start turning over everything, I think. Well, certainly the ones that we're at. There's no benefit to me turning over these. I'm guessing when we reveal them, we have to do the actions. I don't know if that's true. I mean, it makes sense, right? When revealed. So reroll one of your fresh die. All players gain a regret. So this goes over here, and we get another one. We are well and truly in this section here. So reroll all of your fresh die. I don't really want to. Again, don't know if it's optional, but I'm going to guess is it optional? Is it optional? I'm going to treat it as though it is optional, but I don't know if it... No, I'm going to treat it that it's not optional. Let's re-roll them. A 2, a 3, and a 2. Okay. Then this one, all players get a regret. There's only 1 left. We'll give it to us. Now, when we reveal a regret, we have to take them from the other player. On reveal, discard 3 regrets. Okay. On reveal, re-roll one of your fresh die. We'll re-roll the 2 over here, shall we? We got a 3 back again. Nothing on reveal here and nothing on reveal here. Okay. That was a bit back and forth. How many regrets have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're still at that top level for now. Okay, so we caught that. That's everything we needed to do. That's us done. We're back to Bulb. Bulb is going to spend a die to do some fishing. So 1, 2. We're looking for big fish. We don't get one. There is one underneath that, however. So 2 mad fish or bad fish, and then a remora, small and foul. It costs 1 to catch. Reveal a shark from your hand to catch this automatically. Reveal a shark from your hand. There we go. There's a revealed shark. Turn the top fish of the shoal over. So reveal is turn the top fish of the shoal over. I'm guessing we don't need to do that because we're just revealing it. So I think we're just showing it. So I think we get to catch this automatically without spending a die. These two go back in the middle here, and we don't spend a die to do it. Okay, it's back to us. We are going to catch the writhing mass, I guess. Reroll one of your fresh die. We don't need to worry about that. It's going to cost us 5 to catch, so we're going to spend these 2. That 3 goes back in the bag. And we take this one and we put it over here. Okay. I really wish I had cards that allow me to turn over extra, but alas, we do not. We're going to go fishing again over here. We're going to spend 1, 2, and 3, because we knew there was a big fish here, and it is Krashen spawn, large and foul. If on catch, all players, you flip a die. If you get heads, you get this. On a tail, you get that. We don't want that. We don't want any of these. All players at sea may choose to take a regret and move their boat to depth 2, or all players take a regret. This is the best one for us. We're going to spend a 3, and we're going to catch this fish. These were from the middle, I think. It's not going particularly well for old Bobo over here. On reveal, all players take a regret. So there's one for you and there's one for you. And that's it, I think. This is not ideal. We've got a load of minus cards over here. I don't like it. Back to us. We are going to possibly eat a fish. If we eat this fish, we're going to eat this scrap. We get to refresh 2 die and take 2 regret. So we get these 2. That goes over here. And we get 2 regret. So we take this one, heavy regret, and we take this one. Okay. We'll put these back over here. So that wasn't an action. We get to fish again. So the problem we've got is we can only catch these crappy fish that we don't really want because we don't have a way of turning over more fish. So we're going to look at this one. This is no face. It's just 2 tails. Middling and fair. Reveal a fish called Two Face from your hand to catch this automatically. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 fish, but I am going to spend this 3 to catch this one. On catch, I get 2 regrets. Give me these 2. I don't really want to be taking them from him, but give me these 2. Right. Okay. So you've still got 2 die. So we're going to fish one more time over here. 1, 2. We really need a big fish. We do not get one. It's the next one. We've got the Overmind, we've got the Northern Stargazer, and we've got the Stargazer, and we've got the Sarcastic Fringehead. If you don't catch Northern Stargazer, shuffle it into the shoal. They're all worth the same. We're going to take the Stargazer, I guess. We'll put these 2 here. The next one here is a big one, but I don't think we're going to be able to catch it. We're going to put the 3 over here, and we're going to put this in our hand. Back to us, we are going to reveal this one. Oh, I wonder if I was meant to spend a die. I'm going to assume not. We're going to reveal this one. It's a Gulper Eel. Must be caught with exactly 2 dice. It's going to cost us 4. We're going to do it. We're going to spend these 2 die to put this over here. That's us done. Now, so that's us finished. Our buddy Bulb is going to use his lifeboat to go back to port. And when at port, he's going to refresh his worms, doesn't need to. He's going to refresh any dice, doesn't need to. He's going to optionally discard a thingy. He's going to do that. Then he is going to use his moonshine to discard another regret, and then he's going to mount his 2 fish here, his 2 sharks, his 2 sharks, a 5 and a 5. That's the best he can do. Then he could have actually, no, he's going to leave it at that. He's got a load of negative cards. Doesn't have any other way of getting rid of these. It goes back to Bulb. Bulb is going to take a dink, I guess, because he doesn't want to get rid of any regret. Sea Glass comes back to to Frode. Comes back to Bulb. Is Bulb going to do anything? Bulb could eat some fish, but that's not ideal because he's going to give him bad news. I know you can't see down here, but there's a load of fish that are bad for us. Let me just show you this. Because in Bulb's hand, we've got a load of foul fish, and they're all going to be worth negative points now to us. -2 for each one of those foul fish. So it could be bad news. That is the end of the day. That is the end of the game. Nothing more to do for us. So, I mean, if we sold fish, we could take... you know what? Is there a benefit to actually selling some fish? Because we're going to get less money for the fair, but we're going to get less money taken away for the foul. How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to lose 5. We're going to lose 10 points if we stay here. We're going to sell one of these. We're going to sell... I guess, yeah, it doesn't matter if we sell more than one of these. We're going to sell these 3 fish. We're going to take 3 regrets. There's 1, 2, and 3. That's going to move us down to this level. These go over here, and that's everything we can do. Okay, we sold them. What did we sell? We got a 1, a 3, and a 3. I don't think we lose money for selling. I'm not sure. I don't think we lose cash, but we also don't get any cash, right? Because that one's worth. That one was worth a 1. That one was worth a 1, and that one was worth a 0. So maybe we do. If we'd have sold this one first, we'd have moved down to here. So this would have been worth 1. So we'll put that up to 4. Then we'd have sold this one. This would have been worth 2, so we'd be up to 6. And then we sold the corpse, which is worth 1, which means -1. Job done. Okay, that is us. That is us done. I'm going to get some paper and a pen, and I'm going to try and work out the scores and likely get them wrong. And then I'm going to get a calculator. So, right, what have we got going on? We will start with us. Let's count the fish in our hand using where we are on the foulness trail. So we have a standard fish. It's worth 6. We're going to get 4 for that. The gulper eel. We are going to look at our striped marlin. It's worth 5 minus 2. It's worth 3 for that. That's all of our foul fish. Sorry, our fair fish. Then we have a no face, which is worth 5 plus 2 is 7. Then we have a writhing mass, which is worth 7 plus 2 is 9. Then we have this queenie here, worth 9. And we have this, which is worth 10. So that's our fish in hand. Right, now it's your boy's go, Bulb. He's got this, which is worth 3, is worth nothing, so that can go over there. We've got the parasite larvae, which is worth nothing because it's worth 1 and this is worth that, so that's fine. It's done a good job over here. We've got 3 plus 1 is 4. Yeah, I guess the flip side of this is we're getting -1 for extra every one of these fish, which is not great, so maybe it wasn't the right thing to do. We've got this one which is worth 1, so this is 2. We've got this which is worth 5, so this is 6. We've got this which is 3, so this is worth 4. We've got this which is 2, so this is worth 3. And we got this which is 4, so this is worth 5. So 10, 18, 28, 31, 40, 44. Let's just check that. 18, 21, 31. Oh, I think I've got that wrong. 18, 28, 31, 38, 42. 18, 28, plus 7, oh sorry, plus 3 is 31, plus 7 is 38, plus 4 is 42. And then 6 and 4 is 10, plus 2 is 12, plus 4 is 16, plus 5 is 19, plus 3 is 21. So we are in the lead. the first scoring phase. Okay, these can go over here. Then we look at our mounted cards. So let's do it over here. We have this Bowel Angel, which is worth 10. We do this before we do it. So we take 1 away. So this is worth 4 times 2 is 8 for Bulb. Then we get the Tiger Shark, which is worth 5 plus the 1 to it. So 6 times 3 is 18. And then we have the Hammerhead Shark, which is 5 plus 1 is 6 times 2 is 12. So 38 over here for Bulb. For us, we have the Geist. We have to discard this. We have to discard our lowest value mounted fish. Then we have 6 times 2, so we get 6 plus 2 is 8. So times that by 2 is 16. Then we get our big boy, 8 plus 2 is 10, times 3 is 30. And then we do money. So over here we've got 6, so that's worth another 3 points to Bulb. So 38 plus 21 is 59, plus 3 is 62, right? 38 plus 21 is 59 plus 3, 62. And for us, we've got 30. No, hold on. So that's 46. We've absolutely trounced him. 46 plus 42 is 88, right? 88 points is the win. Look, I think I got the maths right. I like this game. I'm actually playing it tomorrow with real people, so I won't need the lonely card because I'm actually playing it with real people, and I'll let you know how it plays when there's multiple people all trying different strategies. I think after my second play out with Lamentable Tentacles, I think it does add to it. I would suggest that maybe the cards we got, Lonely and Curmudgeonly, kind of counteract each other quite closely, so maybe it didn't have the right play. But I think what's interesting about this is you start down a path of making one strategy and then immediately, oh, hold on, this was a Phantom Fish, which is only worth 4 for us. So this 16 becomes a, let's have a think about that. So 6 plus 4 is, 6 take away 2 is 4. So that's worth 8 to us, right? 8. So it would have been on 80. So it doesn't really make any difference. I just spotted that this was a fair fish rather than a foul fish. So what was I saying? Yeah, this, I think it's a fun game. I wonder if it's a little bit too random for its own good, because you start with a process and then you change. One of the things we were meant to do is count up the regret cards, because obviously he used his boat to get back, but we are well over 10 before we even get to the cards that they've got. We'll just count them up just in case, but 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, 2 and 3 is 5, lots of trivial regrets, 3 and that is 5, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 versus 10 plus 1, 11 plus 5, so 16. So we were well over on the regrets, so I didn't really need to count them, but I was just to be kind of belt and braces about it, really. So that is Lamentable Tentacles and in Deep Regrets. There's a few bits we got wrong, I apologise, but missing some of these things is a little, maybe less when you've got just yourself to focus on. But as I said, all the way through this, we were kind of focused on doing one thing here and one thing here because of the first round, but then immediately started seeing actually it'd be better to go deeper. It'd be better. We might have taken different cards if we'd have been more flexible in our strategy. But it's quite open to kind of how it can twist and turn. There's a few rules that I'd probably just need to clarify. We got to the reveal bit, but for example, there's the sort of there was an issue with one of the dice and whether we could use it or not use it. There's a few that just could do a little tiny bit more explanation, but a lot of fun. I think it's going to be fun with real people. Check out my Board Game Geek page, one last hand on there. Check out the Usually Insta is where I'll post those things. We'll post some pictures from the game and those things, so check that out. Also, eventually when the Patreon page is up and running, we'll put some kind of just some text around what happened on games nights with those pictures. If you're thinking about picking this up, I think it comes to retail probably around June. I'm not 100% sure. It's a fun little game, but they've also got a deeper regrets version. I'm not sure if that's an expansion coming to Kickstarter or GameFound sooner rather than later. I think there's also a smaller version, just a card game, that's coming out as well. But a lot of fun. Deep Regrets, thank you so much. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, follow us on X and Twitter, and that's the same thing, Insta and TikTok. We do a load of individual TikToks over on TikTok where we put up some gaming components. You have to guess which game it is. So if you like games and trivia and those sorts of things, you can jump into that. Let me know if you picked this up. Let me know if you played it. Let me know if you watched this. Let me know if you want a how to play video. I'll have to do a bit more research on some of these things, but we can, I'm sure, do a proper video of how to play this from the start. But there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon.